Hello, welcome back to Checkpoint Reach podcast. I'm your host Luke Eldon, and I'm joined by my fellow gamers and friends Sud and Perks. How you doing, guys?
Very good, Luke. Going? How are you?
Good, glad to hear. Yeah, so we've been gone for a while.
Yeah,
I mean,
bit of a sabbatical,
mini hiatus, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah, I typed down short break, but I think it's a little longer
4 months.
than a short break.
Very, very long break. I'd say 4 months.
Yeah,
in podcasting terms.
You know, sometimes you just need to recharge, don't you? So
yeah,
basically
have a bit
starting again. If anyone's still listening, it'd be a miracle.
Hey,
we have a loyal fan base here at Checkpoint Reach, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
The fans will be back and raring.
Think how happy that fan's gonna be when that little notification comes through it. Checkpoint Reach podcast, and he looks down at his phone or whatever device.
Who wouldn't be
and
happy?
He's like, "Wow, they're back."
It's
or maybe she.
It's the return of the kings, isn't it? The three kings. So
the three amigos.
Three amigos.
Oh yeah, we should mention that the fourth amigo is not joining us today.
Matty died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
not literally dead, but
some would say he could be though.
In every sense of the word.
He's been taken from us. Yes.
But you know, we have got some guests maybe in the wings, haven't we? So
we do.
Possibly.
Yeah,
we'll just tease
exciting.
it, you know. We don't want to reveal it just yet.
No.
But
no.
Little teaser.
Dangle the little carrot out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back for more.
One has previously been on the show. There's a teaser. A little
Yeah, we haven't had many guests.
I know, but I don't think many people have listened to every episode either, so
no, true.
That'll work. And one guest who will be coming on the show is actually quite a decent coup for us, I'd say.
Yeah.
Quite a big following, so that'll be very interesting. Yeah.
Makes the comeback worthwhile.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Especially with the topic matter as well. That should be interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of people enjoy it.
Yeah. Except Matty. He won't.
Except Matty, yeah.
No. Yeah.
He won't be here to enjoy it, and he probably won't listen, so... Nah, he'll probably give it a listen, to be fair. However, what have we been doing over the last 4 months? I mean, there's been quite a few games that we've played in that time, I'm sure that we can talk about. You know, one game that springs to mind that I'd like to mention is that we all tried Crash Team Racing, and safe to say I shockingly average at it, or terrible at the game, really.
To be fair, the standard in the online, I mean, was ridiculous in terms of the top players anyway. Just absolutely, it's literally impossible to win most races. So
I never won one online race. I came second a good few times, but
I think I won one or something in Perth, so you won like a few, didn't you? But we really didn't win many at all.
Yeah, it wasn't. You could count it on one hand, to be honest. I think we all underestimated the standard of the people that were actually going to be playing that game.
Yeah, I know, but didn't we play it like on day one? And like people are boosting around the track already. And I was like, what is going on here, Perks? And you were like, yeah, there's a boost, lad, that you need to do.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Good to
so
know.
that game, like, there's so many little intricacies to it, isn't there? And it was too much, a little bit too much, to be honest. I'm not saying I wish the boost was out of it, but I kind of wish the boost was a bit less powerful in it. But then again, I guess some people, like the hardcore fans, would probably say, "Oh, well, that's the point" and stuff like that. But it just
some people have
for the
mastered
online.
It.
Yeah, just for the online, it's a bit boring. If everyone can do that, what's the point? Like, where's the competition if everyone's just doing the same thing? Like,
I will say though,
a bit boring.
I think you guys would agree. I did like the game. I did enjoy it.
Oh yeah, the game was great.
It was great, but it was so hard online. That's why. Yeah. That's why I stopped playing it. I just couldn't win.
Yeah, everything about the game was as I remembered, and I really enjoyed going back to it. And then the one thing I didn't remember was the curve in difficulty between the good players and the expert players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the extent of that was sat around the living room with a few people back in the day.
It's very true, yeah.
To see the standard of some of the high-level players and now and the people that were streaming at the time is like...
How do you compete?
You can't compete against some of them because you get people boosting around the whole track and never losing a boost.
I don't know about.
Intense.
I think you might have played it, Perks. I'm not sure about Sud, but apparently as well the the gulf in the difficulty levels just playing against a computer was ridiculous.
Yeah, hard was insanely hard.
Yeah,
I never tried
Not
it,
even
so I
fun.
don't know.
I mean, doing the campaign, on the hardest difficulty and stuff, it's just, it's not that fun, to be honest, because they made it even harder than the original. Like, the hard difficulty of the game is harder than the original.
Is that just like us not remembering it though?
No, that is an actual. I've heard a lot of people saying this. This isn't just me saying this.
It's just a lot of people not remembering it.
No, I think it is.
It's been years.
No, because I think a lot of people have gone back to the original and then played
Amnesia.
this as well and seen that they've made it even harder. Like, it's basically, they say it's a level up, so easy on the first one's like medium on this one, medium's like hard, hard's like another level above. So
I must admit, I only played it on medium, and to be honest, it was the very first time I played it, and the writing was on the wall for me. I was playing my girlfriend, and we decided to have a race around the track on a medium, and I was like, God, this is hard. I came last, and she came like 4th. So I think that was the writing on the wall for me that I was going to suck at this game.
Should have
definitely
installed
wasn't
it
easy.
right then.
I should have. She's not even a gamer, so an embarrassing defeat there for me. But yeah, a few other games that we've been playing. Just want to mention that yesterday, me and James Perkins did the unthinkable. We got to the promised land of Division 1 on FIFA 19, and we won it. We won it. Playing club, we are the champions. First time this year. Well, first time this season, however you describe it. When did it come out? It came out last year, didn't it, technically? Yeah.
Yeah, like less than a month away from FIFA 20, and we finally did the thing that we've done a million times over every single year, except this one.
We should mention that the club back in the day, when we played FIFA more consistently, was very good. We'd win it most times, and over the years we've just gotten progressively worse. And we are hanging on to winning a Division 1 title every year. And we did it yesterday.
We've gone from 700 wins and 30 defeats in a year to something like 100 wins and 80 defeats, something like that.
The decline is real.
Yeah, times have changed.
We've got older.
Reflexes aren't what they once were, I'm afraid.
No. I tell you what, though, there's nothing worse than seeing like Jimmy 2000 and gamer tag, and you're like, oh, he must be a kid. He ain't a kid.
5-0 defeat.
He ain't a kid, and he's smashing you on FIFA.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Damn it, Jimmy 2000.
I always think it's weird to think that now with millennials. It's like people born in like 2000, 2001, they're not even kids anymore. It's like,
they are.
Really
they're
strange.
still 12 to me. Like,
yeah, 12 to you.
That'll never change.
They're not in reality. It's quite worrying, actually, for us, isn't it? As we get old.
Oh, no, it's scary.
The 3 old men still playing video games here.
Hey,
these youngsters around.
3 amigos representing. And
yeah.
the champs are here. So we finally did it. Another game, though, that me and you have played SUD together. We've been doing an online F1 season, F1 19.
F1 2019.
We both love the game.
Oh, yeah. It's a great game, isn't it? What a fantastic game it is.
It really is. If you haven't played it, you definitely give it a go.
If you're into Formula 1, I would assume you'd have probably already played it by now. But even if you're not, I think as a racing game, it's brilliant.
It's really good. Yeah,
the presentation, the graphics, the way it handles, even the intricacies of. You can, if you're a real F1 nut, you can pretty much set up anything, can't you, with car setup and stuff like that. It's amazing, really.
You can go really in depth with it. However, our season, usually, me and you are pretty good. Last year, we had a good season. I even won one. And then this year, we're playing it on a pretty difficult, I guess. Pretty difficult standing. 82, I think it is. I mean, there's probably people out there who laugh at that, but,
Well, it's 120. It's out of 120, isn't it? Or 110, sorry. Not 120. 110. So we're playing on 82. So that's... I think it's classed as expert, is it?
Oh, it might
or hard.
be
It's
just
either hard or
shy of expert.
One of the two. Yeah, hard or expert. So obviously it's not a really easy level, but it's...
No.
Some people probably would laugh and play at like 100 and still win, but that's about our level, isn't it? Around the 80 to 85 mark, so...
Yeah, and we started Alfa Romeo season. Didn't go well. I don't think I finished 8 races. Handling was awful. And then last night we started as McLaren, and...
Yeah. Went a little bit better.
A little bit better, but the last race last night didn't go very well.
No, it didn't. No, the AI, though, are ridiculous. Like, they've done an update since it first came out, because the AI on that are absolutely insane. They're so aggressive. It's unbelievable.
They really are.
Like, they just don't... They don't care, do they?
No, they just
They
take
just
you
don't
out.
take any prisoners. They take no prisoners.
It's literally like racing online against on multiplayer.
Yeah,
just
they bash into
against
you.
other
They
people.
barge you out of the way. They don't get penalties, even if they block you. The amount of times I've been on in qualifying and I've tried to do a fast lap and I've been blocked is unbelievable, and they don't get any penalty. Whereas if we do that, it's 5-second penalty
Or a grid penalty.
a grid penalty, and it's like, this is ridiculous. But the game's really addictive, isn't it? It's such an addictive game.
It really is.
I've got to say as well, the
highly
career
recommend.
mode is fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good.
Like, it's, drivers move around different teams and stuff like that, and it's really authentic and it works really well. So I'd definitely recommend the game.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I think it's safe to say that we're
No doubt about
both
that.
big fans of the game.
Yeah.
Speaking of fans of games, there's one game, the ever consistent game for James Perkins, Destiny 2.
Yeah, that remains the same. Just like you full naming me twice already.
Have I full named you twice?
Yeah, but pretty much, other than Crash Team Racing and the occasional FIFA season here or there, yeah, the last 4 months, and a long time before that, to be honest, and a long time after it, has just been Destiny 2 filled for me.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of rediscovered the love for it again, didn't you? Because I think last time we were podcasting, you were a bit more, not down about the game, but you weren't into it quite as much, I don't think.
Yeah, things
Kind of
were
rediscovered
happening
the
though,
love
weren't they?
for
We
it.
had Anthem and the
Yeah.
whole debacle that went with that, and then Division
what a
2,
game.
how it started strongly and then nosedived quite hard. So
Yeah, you really liked Division 2, didn't you, when it first came out?
Yeah, I think the general
It was a pretty good
consensus
game.
with that was it had a really
Yeah.
strong launch, and it didn't turn into a bad game by any means, but I think people who moved away from Destiny initially have generally come back. And I'm one of them. So yeah, Division was okay, Anthem was a disaster, we know that. Let's not dig that up again, and yeah, pretty much I've been playing Destiny ever since.
Disclaimer, Checkpoint Reach podcast was correct about
We were
Anthem.
correct about Anthem, and we got a lot of shit for that, didn't we?
We did, actually.
We got a lot of shit for that, saying that, be cautious about this game. It doesn't look that great, and some of the comments weren't the.
You look
weren't the
around
best, but,
forums, boards, posts, things like that, though. There's a lot of people who ate humble pie shortly after Anthem launched, and
Yeah, but you got a lot of the brunt of that, Perks.
yeah, I did.
For
But
some reason.
it's to be expected, isn't it? A game like that comes along, people are going to have varying opinions. They're typically going to be quite strong one way or another, so
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
mind.
good point.
I can sit here comfortable in my chair knowing that the Checkpoint Reach podcast called it.
True.
Did.
That is very true.
A great call. I mean, I'd rather we were wrong, but...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we all wanted it to be
Yeah, I
good,
wanted the
but
game
it
to be
wasn't.
good, but it wasn't.
But,
There's
yeah.
no point trying to sit here and pretend, is it? Like, oh, maybe the game was okay. Actually, it wasn't. It was a bad game, and
It was.
the game's pretty much dead in the water now. I think actually, we might have predicted the game would be dead in the water by now.
Died quicker than I think anybody expected
Yeah.
pre-launch.
We said 6 to 12 months, didn't we? I think that maybe it'd last. So you could argue it's already dead. I mean, even though it's technically still going, but no one's asked about it.
I must
so.
admit, I've not checked the player rate, count though on there.
No.
I don't know how many people actually still playing the game. It can't be
Yeah.
many though.
No, it's drastically low in comparison to Division and Destiny, which
No
is
surprise.
deserved, to be expected. Regardless of how little improvement has been made, it's not going to get much better.
True.
So
True.
yeah, roll on Destiny and Shadowkeep in October, as far as I'm concerned.
Just a couple of quick games I did want to mention as well that I did play in the last 3 or 4 months. Well, you played this as well, Perks. One was Mortal Kombat 11. That was quite a big game, I suppose, that came out.
You guys
That was-
both liked that, didn't you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the
Yeah,
story
it was
was
good.
one of the strongest Mortal Kombat stories, I think, that I've seen in recent times, so that's good.
They are hard to buy into, though. So far-fetched.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I
Ronda
mentioned
Rousey
it,
is
yeah.
Sonya Blade.
Actually
Yeah,
pulled
so
it
it's
off
fair play
relatively
though,
well,
yeah.
to be fair.
Yeah,
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did actually. To be fair, maybe she's a better voice actor than wrestler. I don't know, but
She's all right in the ring.
yeah, I know. It's but yeah, Mortal Kombat was good. I enjoyed that. It was fun. Another game I played was Rage 2, which I think we did talk about a little bit, didn't we, on Checkpoint Reached? We didn't talk about it, but we talked about saying, we were saying, oh, is this game going to be any good or not? I think it was only me that ended up playing it in the end.
Was it good?
It was okay. It was a decent game. It wasn't anything more than that. It was sort of a 7.5 type game. Nothing special, by not playing it, you're not missing out, sort of thing. You know, it's
People
easily
waited 4
missable.
months to find out that Rage 2 was just okay.
Average, yeah, just an okay game, not a terrible game, not a
Damn.
good game, just an okay game. It was fun.
You're not a fan of Rage, the first one, then, Perks?
Yeah, I actually liked the first
one was good.
But Sid had people on tenterhooks all that time, and it was just okay. It's disappointing, man.
I think we all thought. Well, I thought it was going to be better than it was. Like, they hyped it up a lot, didn't they? To be fair, before it came out, they said, they were making out like it was going to be the next big thing, and it was just okay. I mean, the shooting mechanics are great because it's basically very similar to playing Doom, which we all know Doom feels fantastic to play. But apart from that, the world was pretty bland. Just kind of one of them generic sort of games where you go around doing missions that don't really matter.
If I'm not mistaken, it reviewed worse than the first one, didn't it? In pretty much every aspect.
So that was a little bit disappointing, I suppose. But it was okay. It was an okay game. So,
did you have another that you wanted to mention?
That's pretty much it, to be honest. The main games. So
yeah,
I don't think there's much else of note anyway. Really.
Nothing else springs to mind that I've played in the last 4 months.
No,
I can't believe it's been 4 months.
I mean, I played
quick.
I played a lot, quite a few games on PS4, but a lot of them are games that people are not going to be interested in hearing. So, yeah, but it's. I think it's been a decent sum of those games, hasn't it? And when we look back, I think we've done okay, really, with what we've played.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've been replaying games from the PS4 as well. I've been replaying like Watch Dogs 2 and Spider-Man. Oh god, I love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, of course, yeah. I mean, you've played all the DLC, haven't you now?
Yeah, I have actually. The DLC's great. It was on offer for £10, I believe. It was. Yeah. For all of it, and it was really good. Good fun. I love that game. I love it
Spider-Man
even more now. Yeah.
I keep meaning to get the DLC. There's a Game of the Year edition out, isn't there now? Spider-Man Game of the Year edition. So maybe I'll pick that up around Christmas time or something.
Yeah, it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about a new game that's coming out, because I think it's safe to say it's one of our favourite franchise. It might have dipped maybe in the last few years, but Gears 5 is coming out soon.
It is?
Yeah, it's releasing on the 10th of September, but 4 days earlier if you have Game Pass Ultimate, which you two do, and I don't, so I'll have to wait to play that, whereas you guys will be playing on Friday.
I'll wait for you.
Yeah,
Got your back, champ.
Oh, cheers, champ. See, that's how you win a Division 1 title.
Yeah, that's true.
You get nowhere without that kind of chemistry.
Exactly.
I'm afraid to say I won't be waiting. So
no, because you're not a champ.
You're not a part of the champ, so
I'm afraid impatience will get the better of me. So I'll be playing it when it releases on Friday. I'm looking forward to it though. I guess we should talk about the reviews have just come out for it actually in the last half an hour or so, which is pretty good timing. But it's currently on an 83, so I think that's fine. I mean, I think some people were predicting it was going to be like 90s and stuff, which I thought was a bit ridiculous. I didn't think it was going to be that high. Yeah, but I think it's probably going to end up around the mid 80s. You would imagine, wouldn't you? When all's said and done, maybe low to mid 80s. So maybe an 83, 84, which I think is
solid.
What we all
score.
Would you say, Piers, what we expected? That sort of score.
Yeah, my personal prediction was 82 when we were talking a while back about it. So I think anywhere between 80 and 85 is okay. To be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised to see it settle at just under 80. Yeah. But that's kind of where the franchise is right now. As much as we've loved it over the years, it's definitely had its highs and lows. And I think by this point, it probably does feel a little bit tired. And I think estimations of 90 plus from certain sources were optimistic at best.
I've got to say, I think that was mostly fanboys on Twitter a lot of the time saying that. So you can't really rely on them because they're always going to say that games are probably going to be higher than they are. But
when did it drop off for you, the franchise, a little bit?
After Gears 1.
Yeah, you could argue. I mean, Gears 1 was definitely the best one. A lot of people would not, I bet a lot of people listening to this would probably say that's ridiculous, Gears 2 and 3 and stuff like that. Gears 3, I think, is a lot of people's favourite, but I think if you're an original Gears guy, surely you'd have to say Gears is the best one. The first one, the original, was just unique for its time.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Probably because it was just so different. Nothing.
It was so different. It was like nothing we'd played before. Yeah,
it was amazing.
I mean, I think, to be fair though, the only bad game I would say in the Gears franchise is Gears Judgment. I think the rest are all at least good.
Well, I was going to say that's where it dropped off for me, playing that game with you.
Judgment was...
Jesus.
I mean...
That was awful. I really didn't enjoy
I hated that game. Like, I don't know about you, Perks. I think maybe... I don't know if you were a bit more ambivalent towards the game, but I really thought that campaign was terrible in Gears Judgment. Like, really bad.
Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of the way they set it out and the small segments that you kind of went through piece by piece. It felt disjointed, and it was. I mean, they tried something a little bit different with Judgment, didn't they? It was different stylistically, and the way that it felt. It was a lot more arcadey than the other games in the series. So
that is the one with Bear telling the story, isn't it? In the
courtroom
or whatever. Yeah,
centered around him, isn't it? But it's fair to say as well that was made by People Can Fly. It wasn't made by Epic at the time, was it? So that's maybe another reason why it wasn't as good. Obviously, we've got the Coalition now. This is their second attempt, so it'd be interesting to see. I am looking forward to the campaign, I think, the most. Like, we kind of know what the multiplayer is going to be like. I think me and you, Luke, played the... Was it the Alpha or Beta? I can't remember what it was called.
I can't even remember.
Tech Test, sorry. It was called the Tech Test, wasn't it? Gears 5 Tech Test.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You didn't like it at first, but you definitely were turning. Yeah,
it grew on me. I didn't like the arcade mode at first because I thought, I don't like this, not starting with a shotgun, but it's not going to be the only mode in the game, so I don't mind the fact that it played well. Up a bit. Yeah, it did play well. And I've got to say the game looks great, which I always expect from a Gears game. They're always graphical sort of showcases, aren't they, for the console they're on? So
yeah, they're always.
The game's definitely going to look great. There's no doubt about that. I think we're interested to see the open world, how that plays out.
You know what? That is one thing I do not like. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just probably stuck in my old ways with the Gears franchise, more linear. But yeah,
prefer the linear.
I'm not really excited for the open world. How come every game these days needs to have open world?
I know. Well, I think there's a lot of people asking that. Every podcast I listen to, you hear people saying this all the time about, why does every game have to have some open world thrust into it? And I guess the answer is that must be what's selling.
I guess.
Because I can't think why else they would keep doing it. I mean, I think it's about longevity as well, isn't it? People don't want to be buying games that only last them 6 to 8 hours anymore. They want games that are going to last them hundreds of hours. So maybe that's another reason.
No one's getting 100 hours out of the Gears campaign.
No. But just in general,
no matter how many replay the campaign 5,000 times type achievements and trophies, no trophies obviously, but achievements they put in the game, it's not happening.
I reckon if you played it on Insane with me and Iron Man or whatever it was, you could probably get 100
you might get 100 repeated hours. You're not getting 100 fresh and new hours.
I could drive you insane on that.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny. We were talking off air about this Iron Man mode, and I've just thought now that would be a good way. They could say the campaign lasts 100 plus hours. Just to force everyone to play it in Iron Man. That's the only mode, and you have to play it in that. The campaign would last about 1,000 hours, I think, for some people if you have to do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the campaign. I think that's going to be. I don't know what you guys think. I think that's probably the bit I'm looking forward to the most. Like, I will play the multiplayer as well, but I'm most looking forward to seeing what they do with the story.
I think I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
Bit of both. Yeah, because I enjoy playing the multiplayer with you guys, obviously online, so
yeah,
I look forward to that. And the story, I didn't actually complete Gears 4. Me and a friend of the show were playing it, Ted, and we got stuck in a glitch, and we had to restart, and that was enough for me, because we were already halfway through, and I just lost it after that. I was like, nah, I can't be bothered. So I think I'm on the fence. Either way, looking forward to a bit of both. How about you, Perks?
Yeah, my focus is definitely on the story, to be honest. I think as far as the multiplayer is concerned, I enjoyed Gears 4's multiplayer. I spent a lot of time in it, but my own involvement now, it's so much focused on Destiny's PvP and endgame and even PvE is alike. It's a massive time sink of mine now, so I'm probably not going to commit to Gears 5's competitive scene like I used to. So yeah, I am more intrigued for the campaign, mainly because Gears 4's story for me was a bit bland and was probably the worst part of the game as far as I'm concerned. Not that I thought it was terrible, but it left a lot to be desired. So with Kate stepping into the limelight now and JD looking like more of a support character, I'm interested to see if I feel any differently by the end of this one.
Did you guys like JD?
Nope. No. And I don't
No,
think
really
anyone
bad
did.
character.
I was just a bit.
Big
I think,
mistake.
like the word you used, bit bland. He
was.
a bit. Bleh.
Kay was by far the best character, in my opinion, out of the main cast. I mean, obviously, like Marcus Phoenix, but I'm not really counting him because we know what Marcus
Old
is
man
about.
Marcus.
Out of the three new sort of characters, the main character, I think Kate was clearly head and shoulders above the other two. So I'm not really shocked at all. They've gone with her. And she seems like it seems like the whole trilogy is basically based around her anyway. So.
Yeah, her and her mum, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know, that's probably the direction they were going in anyway, maybe. But I think they're definitely doubling down on it now because I think they've seen that people didn't like JD. And
was there a big backlash on JD? I didn't really see much regarding it, but
I think people just thought he was boring and bland. I don't think it was like an outrage that he was the main character, but I think people just thought, yeah, it's not the right choice as the main
from Marcus to that.
Yeah, so
it's always going to be a struggle though, living up to Marcus. As soon as you change character, it's like, whoa, hold on a minute. And especially when they are bland and boring, it's a double whammy in that respect. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Kate was that interesting at all. Like saying she was head and shoulders above the rest, like I don't really think so. But I'm just glad they didn't keep doing the same thing and say, here's more JD. You didn't like him first time around. How about now? So credit where it's due in terms of trying something different. The teasers we've seen so far with regards to her like psychological state and that strange trailer we saw back at E3, and I'm a little bit on the fence as to how I think it's going to go. I think by the end I'll probably say I'm going to like this story more, but there's limited information to go off, and I just hope I don't get to the end and feel like, great, now Gears 6 is a few years away and that's going to be when it wraps up. Like, I don't want it to feel like another franchise that just gets dragged out and dragged out.
Is it like
or
Star
a
Wars?
trilogy, shall we say? Yeah, I was going to use that as an example, but I know we're going to come to that. So it's like,
but
I
it is
want
a trilogy,
another trilogy that seems like it should never have been a trilogy? And I'm a little bit worried I'm going to feel that way about it.
Well, you probably will, because it's definitely going to be a trilogy.
Well, no, I mean, like, if this campaign, if this story and narrative is bad again...
Oh, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
I'm going to think, God, I've got to wait all that time for this epic story to conclude when there's nothing epic about it whatsoever. So,
yeah, I know what you mean. You're saying as in you play the first 10 hours of the game and it's like all filler, and then maybe the last 20 minutes is the sort of good stuff, and it's like, yeah, I suppose you would feel a bit like, wow, what was the point in the previous 10 hours, I guess.
Yeah,
because that can happen sometimes in these games, can't it?
If
Like,
it's good, like even if it does finish on a high, then I'm all right with that. But I just want it to be strong throughout. Like, if it peaks or not, I don't really care. Like, I just want it to be a strong offering. I don't want it to feel like, I'm trying to think, out of 10 for Gears 4's campaign, probably a 5, maybe a 6. It was that bad.
I think it improves as it went along, though.
Yeah,
I think the later in the chapters you got, the better. So I'd say the early part of the game.
I got glitched.
Yeah, you got glitched.
The early part, the first couple of chapters, I would agree. I'd say even maybe a 4, 5 out of 10 for the first couple of chapters. But towards the end, you'd say maybe getting towards a 6, maybe 7.
By the way, quick question: did they ever go into detail as to why JD and Marcus weren't talking, and had essentially fallen out before they had to go to Marcus for help?
Not that I remember.
No, I don't think in this. I think you can
probably.
I would imagine there's probably a resource online that you could find. That I think there's books actually, isn't there? First, I know there's a lot of Gears books. So I wouldn't.
Wouldn't it fleshed out in the game though?
I don't think it was flashed out too much in the game. Maybe there was a slight explanation, but I don't remember too much explaining why they hadn't spoke much. I could be wrong. We could be wrong, so I don't want to sit here and say there definitely isn't one. But I think it was maybe explained more in the lore in the books. Because I think there was books between 3 and 4, wasn't there?
I don't remember this entirely, but it was probably something to do with JD's mum than anything else. So, yeah. I don't know for sure. I don't really care about the supporting lore of the Gears series, to be fair.
I guess, to be fair, that could also be explained a little bit in this one. Maybe they go into it a bit in this, and we don't know, do we? So... maybe there's like, would it really shock you if there was like flashback scenes? I mean, I think that's something that Gears,
they might do that.
Doing, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. So, was Coltrane in it?
Yeah,
Coltrane,
he was.
baby.
Yeah, Colin Baird came back at the end to save
all the
day.
original
No, I
cast
didn't get to see it.
sort of came
Which
back.
is why the general consensus is the game got better because the old characters came back.
Yeah, it got better when they started going into it more. But yeah, I think on the whole, I am excited to play it again because I think it's been a while since I played the last Gears, a few months anyway. So I feel like it's a bit more fresh now, and sort of playing the tech test got me back into it a little bit. So
I must admit as well, with it being on Game Pass,
that helps a lot.
Yeah, it's just worth
it's
trying.
a no-brainer, isn't it? Really. So
yeah,
these are the sort of games you get Game Pass for, aren't they? Really.
Well, yeah.
So,
and what is it? Outer Worlds that come out in October as well.
yeah, that's out in October. That's another game that's on
Looking
our radar.
forward to that. Like, I might not have played that without Game Pass, but I definitely will now because yep, I do have Game Pass. We should mention as well that Gears 5 has added Dave Batista as a free playable character.
Yeah, I had to laugh when I saw that. I
put something on Twitter. It was a good video.
I enjoyed the little reveal. Yeah, I enjoyed it, the way they did it.
Oh, cool. Did you see
Raoul Coley?
Yeah, his teaser reveal.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was funny when he like drops his glasses. Yeah, it's funny.
He had like a cardboard.
David
box.
Batista actually liked that as well.
Yeah, he did.
It
was funny. I should mention just quickly.
I bet he's in the game now. I bet they put him in it because of that.
Who?
I wouldn't be. Yeah, they'll put him in it. I bet they put him in it as a character now
Who?
because of that. Coley.
He's already in it. He already voiced.
Oh, is he going to be in it anyway?
He voices one of the characters. Yeah. I can't remember.
I meant like his character model though. I meant
what, with like a cardboard box?
No, well, I mean, would it really shock you? That's the sort
it'd
of
be funny.
Game companies do.
It'd
I
be
wouldn't
funny,
be surprised.
But maybe.
He voices. Is it Dell?
Yeah, I think it's Dell.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'll just quickly mention though, a little bit of news about the Batista thing. You can grab him for free between September 15th and October 28th. He's a playable character from September 15th, which is after the WWE Clash of Champions event. So they paired with the WWE for the announcement. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
they did it at E3 as well, though, didn't they? They had.
Yeah, I know.
Was it AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston, and someone else?
Yeah,
Xavier Woods,
maybe. Don't they? Yeah. WWE, which is a bit strange. I guess maybe WWE is going to advertise the game. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, it helps as well though that Xavier Woods, he runs up, down, doesn't he? And that channel's done really well. So
that's pretty big, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
They're probably just using everything they can, more publicity. But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. Batista's obviously been campaigning for a while for a film, hasn't he? Because he says he wants to play. I believe he wants to play Marcus Phoenix, which he seems like a perfect suit for the character.
I don't think they could actually pick anyone else at this point. If they were going to do a Gears film, like what? I just don't. Who would you pick, like other than him? Like
he does seem to fit the character quite well.
He suits it so well. Like he's got that gruff sort of Marcus appearance. He's got the voice. I just think it'd be a no-brainer for me.
I'm pretty sure Marcus was modelled on him. Like,
is that actually a fact?
I'm struggling here because it's so many years ago, but I'm sure.
Let me put it in the Google machine.
Back in the day, or when it was put to him, I'm not sure whether they said exactly, but it was kind of loosely said, like, hey, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't bet my house on it, but...
No, neither would I, but I remember a lot of people suggesting it at the time, and I think it's something that the devs back in the day definitely referenced. I'm not sure how strongly.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, it just seems to me that it'd be a bit of a strange one.
I have Googled it. But as you can probably imagine, Google is just full of Dave Batista and Gears 5, so it'll probably take me longer to sift through than I thought. So yeah, I cannot confirm or deny that. But
take my word for it.
Yeah, believe the champ when he speaks. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really good having Batista as a playable character. However, I do feel like when you load that game for the first time, it's just going to be Batista everywhere.
I think we have to also mention the Terminator is in it as well.
Oh God!
And Sarah Connor as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, are you excited for that one? Because I couldn't care less about that.
I think it's pretty cool playing as a Terminator. I don't know. It's just different, isn't it? I'll definitely try it. So, I mean, that is literally what the game's going to be, isn't it? Batista on one team and Terminator and a few Sarah Connor on the other.
Is it actually
on the other team.
Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, or is it like modelled?
I think it's... No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure his voice won't be in the game.
Because you remember when he was in WWE?
Yeah. He's been in a few things, hasn't he? So it's kind of weird. They seem to be putting like Terminator and everything now. It's strange. So
Well, they do have, don't
it's a
they
bit
have?
of a weird one.
I'm sure
They
they
got
have
a
a
new
new
film coming out.
Yeah,
they do,
Yeah,
and
it's
it looks
probably to do with that.
horrendous.
Well, I mean, is anyone
Yeah.
surprised? Terminator died a long
Mate,
time ago.
Terminator 2 is one of the greatest films ever made, and it's just.
So I
not been
remember
the same.
watching Terminator 3 in the cinema, and it wasn't good. Wasn't
yeah,
good.
I didn't enjoy
So,
that one either.
It was Rise of the Machines. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't very good.
Is that the one with
Terminator 2 is the best one.
Is that the one that ends in that like base, like the?
Yeah, I think so. And there's tons of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of Terminator. Everyone knows Terminator 2 is the best one anyway. So
Nah, I love Terminator 2. So
yeah,
good.
2 is the best one.
From when they started going all weird and
Judgment Day.
spin-offy after that, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, Christian Bale came into it, didn't he? Is that
Who doesn't love
Terminator
Judgment
4?
Day anyway?
Salvation?
That's what we're all praying for, isn't it, Perks? Judgment Day. So
Yeah.
You two, Mike. I'm happy.
that's what we're all praying for. For that, so
Well, we'll see. As things are going, it might happen quicker than you.
Hey, we had to get some of the
Fingers crossed.
depression jokes in there, didn't we? That's what the podcast is known for.
It is. However, maybe on a more cheerful topic, I'm not sure if people were, that fussed about this, but Cyberpunk 2077 will have multiplayer eventually. CD Projekt Red has finally come round to the idea of featuring multiplayer in Cyberpunk. As far back as 2014, the studio had said that the game was definitely not a multiplayer shooter before producer Richard, you guys might need to help me out.
Good luck.
Yeah, okay. Borzmowski sounds okay. Sorry if I butchered that. It sounds alright to me. Told GameSpot in an interview at Gamescom earlier this year that CD Projekt Red was exploring multiplayer modes. I mean, to me, this is a bit meh. But
yeah, same.
You guys happy with that? Are you guys not bothered?
I'm the same as you. I'm a bit like I don't really care, to be honest. I'm not playing Cyberpunk for the multiplayer. We're playing it for the single player. So
yeah, that's my feelings behind it too.
It's basically the equivalent for me of suddenly The Witcher getting a multiplayer mode. Like tomorrow, I really wouldn't care. I wouldn't play it. So
yeah, I'm a little bit
different type of game,
surprised just on that. Well, it is, but it's another CD Projekt Red title, and it's kind of like you expect after all these years, Cyberpunk is going to be vast enough to keep people interested. It's not going to be a 6-hour sort of one and done type thing. It's going to last a lot longer than that, I'm sure. So, in a general sense, I'm surprised because they seem to be, they seem to have buckled on this over the years since 2014, saying no, definitely not, and then maybe, and now it's confirmed. So
I wonder what's made them buckle.
Probably
longevity.
just what people want these days. Yeah, everything has to have multiplayer, doesn't it? Everything has to have something to keep you coming back. But
yeah, true.
I guess the good thing about it is I was looking into it a bit before, and they've said it's whatever it is that's going to come is after all the single player stuff that comes with the launch, after the free DLC they're doing, and the further single player content, which I'm guessing will be paid
That'll
DLC.
be paid, yeah.
And then they're going to drop the multiplayer stuff. So I'm guessing it's just to keep people interested once literally all is said and done.
Yeah, I don't think people should have too many problems with it. I mean, I don't care about it personally, but I don't think.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I just same as you.
I saw a few people reacting to it, kind of not angrily, but a bit like, like moaning about it. And it's like, I don't think there's anything really to moan about, to be honest. I know people get annoyed when they shove multiplayer into single player games, but on this occasion, I don't think it's going to affect the quality whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not going to take away really from the single player game, is it?
They're actually hiring now, aren't they? They're starting hiring for the multiplayer now, so it's not like they're taking resources away from the single player to do it. So
yeah, and I'd be surprised if that studio simply tacked on something. I'm guessing they are doing it. I'm guessing they're going to go hard.
Yeah, they'll do it.
Gone home, so yeah,
it'll be a similar situation to me to the Red Dead one in terms of. Well,
let's hope it's not actually similar.
No,
to the Red
what
Dead
I mean
one.
is, in terms of it, that didn't take anything away from the single player, did it? Nothing about that online took anything away from the single player at all. Like, it was just like a completely different game almost. Like, the single player was, wasn't affected. It wasn't like they shoved in things in the single player that were for online or anything like that. So I think it'll be a similar situation with this, where it feels kind of completely different.
That multiplayer was garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It didn't work properly, and they did it, and it was kind of weird. But
oh god,
I preferred it. I think you.
What game mode did we play, Sud? It was awful. Was it Battle Royale or Team Deathmatch? One of them.
We played it with Marty, didn't we? We
Yeah,
just
it
kept
was
laughing because it was
so bad.
It was awful. The lag was terrible, but I think you played a bit of the first Red Dead Online, didn't you, Pers? And that was actually quite good.
I don't know, man.
Or
That
did you
was
not play
also
much?
quite laggy and
It was, but it was a
quite a
bit more
disaster.
entertaining.
To be
than Red
honest,
Dead
I feel the same way
Online.
about Rockstar Online. They should. I know
No, it's not.
GTA is like the
GTA's
highest
good.
grossing thing
Yeah, GTA is
of
so
all
successful.
time because of how successful it is. But just, I wish they didn't do it because Rockstar's Online is crap. Like it really is. I don't care if it makes
I
them
agree.
loads of money. Like in terms of the actual product, it's bad. Like
I agree.
they
I
excel
enjoy
in the single
GTA
player.
Online. I mean,
Yeah,
granted,
I
I
mean-
don't do much of the things that they put out. I mean, I enjoy like the
No.
races and stuff.
The
but-
races were fun.
yeah.
I think we played that a bit, didn't we, Lou? The racing
Yeah.
was quite fun, actually, when you're in the sky and stuff like that racing. It's quite fun, but
And then we upgraded to F1.
yeah, which is miles better. But I
An
do kind of agree
actual
with
racer.
Rockstar. They should focus more on single player because, I mean, they make amazing content. But
I think they get away with it, though, to be fair, because they do make such good single-player games.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
but I was just trying to make the comparison as in I don't think it's going to affect anything with Cyberpunk in the same way that Red Dead isn't affected the single player anyway.
Yeah, I'd
At
agree
all.
with that.
Like, so it's like a completely different game.
I think, to be honest, even if it is a complete bust, it doesn't really matter because
No.
all the important stuff is going to be ticked off. And hey, if
By
people
the
want
end
to
of the
leave
day-
the game by then, so be it. They'll be onto something new.
Like at the end of the day, we saw Red Dead 2 come out. What did it get? Like 97 on Metacritic. Well, no, who cares what the multiplayer's like after that? You know the game's amazing. The single player, at least. It'll be the same with Cyberpunk. If that comes out with a high score, they'd be like, people won't care about the multiplayer after that if it's bad.
No.
No,
Have you
it's
That's
going to
the
be months
difference for
down the
some of
line
these.
anyway.
I
Have
think
you
that's the
played it
difference
yet,
with...
Perks, Red Dead?
No, I don't need to have played it to have seen the reception that the multiplayer got when it finally dropped.
Have you got rid of
I
it?
don't. Oh, yeah, I got rid of it ages ago. And to clarify, I got it as a Christmas present. It was still in the cellophane, and I just sold it like new. I might go back one day. It's probably going to end up being like Red Dead 1. I'll play it about 3 years after it first comes out.
You need to play it, man. It's such a good game.
Yeah,
the single
just
player's so
bear
good.
with the start, though.
The start is slow.
I
Yeah,
hated the
definitely.
start, and I didn't think I'd come
Slow
around,
start.
but I did. It's a very good game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. I preferred Red Dead 1 to any of the GTA modern games anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I did at the time because it was obviously it was all that you know and love from Rockstar in a single player sense, but
Yeah.
just in a different environment, which generally I'm not a big fan of, and I think that speaks volumes for obviously how good it was that it hooked me like it did. So
I think-
I will get around to it, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it when I do, but I'm
Well, to be
not
fair,
chomping at the bit right now.
as well, Pers, I mean, I'd say you are missing out because Red Dead 2 is definitely the best game they've ever made. In terms of a single player story, no doubt about that. So,
So,
It's-
you
you know,
think
it's-
it's the best they've ever made?
oh no, without a doubt, in my opinion. I don't think anything rivals it, really. In terms of like what they've put in that game, like, and everything, and how much content's in it in the single player is, yeah.
See,
I think it's unrivaled.
I loved it, but I'm like Perks. I don't like the setting really of like the cowboy era. So
Yeah, I saw a few
I
people say that.
prefer GTA. GTA 4. GTA 4 is my favorite, and I think
I
that's
love
quite
GTA
an
4.
unpopular
Yeah,
opinion actually.
No, well, I mean, we've said about that before. Like, it's my favorite. It's my favorite single player in GTA in terms of it's my favorite story.
I love it.
I think San
Perks
Andreas
used to
is
do a
probably the
great
stronger
impression
game,
of
but-
Nico as well.
Times have changed.
He's not going to do it.
But yeah, I think I agree with you about GTA 4. I think that's the strongest story in any GTA game. But I still think Red Dead is on a level above anything they've done before.
Mhm.
Personally,
I feel like
I think
I feel like majority of people would agree with you, but
yeah,
it's not for me.
you would say though, wouldn't you, Lou, that you should play it though? You should definitely.
Oh
play
yeah,
it. Okay,
definitely.
it's a great game.
Definitely get round to it. But
Yeah,
I will one of these years.
I did the same as you, Perk. So I didn't play Red Dead 1 when it first came out. It took me a few years.
Yeah,
But I got the ending ruined for me by a friend of mine.
that's
so
not great.
yeah. But it was.
never a
I
good
did
thing.
the same thing. So I think you should definitely try it when you get the chance. And obviously, I'm assuming it's come down in price quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, the
It's
game's
probably going to
pretty
be
cheap.
at least a year away. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'll get it when it's a 5.
Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah. So Project Red. Well, we'll see how they do with their multiplayer. Like we said, probably won't affect the single player, so we're not that bothered by it. Anyway, moving on. We wanted to talk a little bit about the Star Wars trailer. That was what was it released at? Is it like their own event, isn't it?
I think so. I just saw the
like
trailer on YouTube, but I don't know what it was about.
Yeah, no, it's released at their own event. They have their own event. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
It's like D23 or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
it.
Yeah.
So they released it there, and obviously big speculation arise from it because of Rey looking like a Sith with her lightsaber that you guys love, the clip-on lightsaber.
Looks great.
Wow. Well, hang on. Before we start, I think we should. Before we go on to that negative part, we should probably just say what our initial reaction was to the trailer. I think
It's got me more hype for the film, and I didn't think that would possible
I agree.
after The Last Jedi.
I actually agree. I never thought I'd say that. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh god. Yeah, I almost got a sort of
I couldn't be arsed
sense
watching
of dread.
it. I couldn't be
I was
arsed
like,
watching
I'm not
it.
even bothered watching this. I thought, oh, here we
Star
go.
Wars
And then
one.
I've got to say, to be fair to them, I actually thought the trailer was really good.
Same.
I think
like
they did a good job with the trailer, apart from the last maybe 3 seconds, which we'll go on to in a minute. But
I really like the flashbacks and stuff from the films, like tying the saga
it's
all
clever
together.
though, isn't it? It's so clever to do that, play on people's nostalgia. It is a clever thing to do.
I mean, I'm playing on people's nostalgia. I'm surprised they didn't have a clip with just talking about the fuel running out in The Last Jedi or something. Yeah, love that bit.
Although I bet most fans, the first 10 seconds, think, oh yeah, and then it showed like the Anakin and Padme. It's like, oh no, this isn't good. This is where it goes down now.
Doesn't like sand.
But
hey, from Revenge of the Sith onwards, it's good until The Last Jedi for me. In terms of the films, I like Revenge of the Sith.
This is another unpopular opinion, but Revenge of the Sith to me, like I remember arguing about this to you, Luke. I prefer Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, and I know you think that's absolutely ridiculous, but I genuinely do prefer Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope.
I mean, there are
I don't know why.
parts.
I just do. I just think it's.
I just think though, as an overall film, New Hope's better.
Maybe,
but Revenge of the Sith has very quotable lines
just like,
and iconic moments.
It's probably not even for the right reasons why I like it more than A New Hope. It's not, like you said, it's probably not a better film, but I just think it's got more memorable things in it.
Yeah.
For me. But
it does.
I mean, yeah, The Last Jedi. Oh, God. I mean,
yeah.
I know we've said this before on the podcast, but I don't think you can say it enough. That film was awful. Absolutely awful.
See, I don't think it's awful. I just did not like it as a Star Wars film.
I just think it's a bad.
I mean,
it actually gets me angry. Thought I hated that film so much. I remember being in the cinema with you and Marty Person. You were both asleep in that film. That's how bad it was.
Yeah,
at one point, what a terrible film.
Very close to genuinely being asleep, as opposed to metaphorically. But it's, I don't know, man. Normally, when you watch a film and you think, "Oh, a film this big," and you think that was pretty crap, or whatever, you come away, and then a few maybe days or weeks later, you'll watch it again, and you try and come back at it and think, "No, well, maybe I judged it harshly." I'll be honest with you. Since I watched it in the cinema with you, I haven't even watched it a second time.
No, I haven't.
That's how little I enjoyed it, and I just thought, you know what, forget it. I'm not even going to bother with this.
No. I've seen it 3 times, and it's
3 times too many.
Didn't get better. Well, I wanted to give it a chance. I wanted to be like, have I judged it too harshly? But
you didn't.
I just didn't like it. I mean, don't you feel like as well though, when we get this trilogy said and done, when you watch Force Awakens and when you watch The Rise of Skywalker, they're gonna feel like completely different movies to The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is gonna feel so out of place, I think.
Well, I might even skip that, to be honest.
That's what I said. I've said in the future when inevitably, I'm sure we'll all do this, when we inevitably, you do the whole go back through them again, don't you, over time. When we go from 1 to 9, and I'll include Rogue One because that was great as well, but I'll just skip 8. I'll literally skip it. I'm not watching it.
Skip 8 and Attack of the Clones, lad.
No, I'll even watch Attack of the Clones. I think it's worse than Attack of the Clones. I do. I know that's, again, an unpopular opinion. I think it's worse than Attack of the Clones. And Attack of the Clones is an awful film. A dreadful film.
I don't know which
Last
one
Jedi
I'd rather watch.
Worse.
I'm
putting Last Jedi firmly last in the order. I really am. I think at the time I said the only film that was worse than Attack of the Clones, but the more I think about it, the more I revise that and say that, no, it's The Last Jedi. And this is one film that I really can go on a rant on about because I just hated it so much, and to me, it's almost ruined the franchise on its own for me. It really has. I mean, because I know people moaned about The Force Awakens saying it was too safe, it was too much like A New Hope, but at least it was a good film. It felt like a Star Wars film. There was good moments in it. There was nothing in The Last Jedi. There was no good
Force
moments.
Awakens.
There was nothing.
No,
there was nothing at all.
The throne scene was good.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was no.
No, I like that. See,
the
right,
way
anyway,
Snoke died was absolutely terrible.
Anyway,
we
need to. This is gonna just. We're meant to talk about
Yeah.
the new trailer. We're just gonna bash the Last.
It's hard,
Jedi.
isn't it? Not talking about The Last Jedi.
No, I know.
Just,
I agree.
It brings back too many bad memories.
It really
It
does.
does. But going back to the trailer, the new trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, we liked it. I mean, I don't know actually if you liked it, Perks. I know me and Sud liked it. It's got us more hype for the film. How about you?
I did like it, but I definitely wouldn't say I'm hyped. I liked it because I probably liked it because of not what was actually in the trailer, but just because I know the direction that it's going in, and hopefully J.J. Abrams will finish the saga on a high, and I've got faith in him to be able to do so. So, regardless of what was actually in the trailer, I think I probably would have sat there and went, "Yeah, okay, that's kind of interesting." I didn't see anything that I thought was particularly great. I think they were purposely cagey. The teaser with Rey and the potential dark side thing she seems to be having, and whatever that might be. And basically, I find it very hard to believe that's just sort of indicative of dark side Rey. Like,
Yeah.
They're not just going to show that in a trailer.
Well, I've talked to you guys about the theories going out there, going around that she might be a clone.
Yeah.
And how I really like that. So for anyone who doesn't know, the theories are that, but basically Palpatine has, throughout the saga, I guess, of the stories, has been collecting DNA from each powerful person he comes across in the Force. So Luke Skywalker, Anakin himself, and Rey, and who's he else? There might be other people in there, I can't remember, but basically he's just put them all together and created Rey, who's going to be the ultimate Sith, and that's why she's so powerful. And they back this up by saying in The Last Jedi, when she looks into the mirror, or whatever she's looking into, and it's meant to tell you about yourself, isn't it, and like your family and all that.
Yep.
She only sees herself over and over and over again, which would indicate she's a clone.
True.
I mean, it's a very interesting theory, and I'd be, because they say they want to tie up everything, and it would make sense. We've seen clones before. Obviously, they made them from Jango Fett. The Palpatine could control them basically with Order 66. He turned them to his side.
Yeah.
So, I like the theory. I think it's very interesting, and I'd be happy if they went that direction.
Did you also see, as part of that theory, it might have been a part of that theory or a slightly different theory about the clone thing, that the two black figures in the mirror were Han and Chewie?
Yeah, I remember you saying this to me.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, but if you actually look at it closely, it does look like, a slightly bigger figure and a wider figure, which would be Chewie with long arms, and then more of a smaller figure. Yeah. But that was a theory, wasn't it? That maybe they rescued her or something when she was like a baby or something like that, and maybe looked after her till she was about 3 or 4. And then obviously there's that scene where she gets left on the planet when she's around 4 or 5 years old, and maybe, because all people were also saying that wouldn't make sense because Han would know her, but maybe he wouldn't know her because maybe she was so young.
He could have done He could have done so many different jobs.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Take this person here.
Because didn't he say? Because doesn't Han say? Does he? Does he say something about? Do I recognize? Does he say something like that in The Force Awakens? Like, I recognize you, but you look familiar, or something like that.
I honestly cannot remember.
I can't remember. I'm sure there's some little scene where he's like, "Oh, I've not heard you." Something like that. I don't know, but
I mean, it'd be interesting. But I tell you what, I really hope the Clone One's theory's true. I think that's really good because at least it explains why she's so powerful, and it does tie in quite nicely.
I like that idea.
I do.
I think in terms of, let's be honest here, this is supposed to wrap things up and finish things. I don't want to sit there and say at the end, oh, so what about that red herring? Or what about that they didn't cover or badly explained? I've seen it before. We all have. They've done clones before that the films may not have been great, but the actual logic behind it was pretty decent as far as I'm concerned. So, I would be okay with Rey being a clone.
Yeah,
I think as well. I still like the whole the old switcheroo theory.
What, her and
What would-
Kylo?
Yeah, just switch. Like I still like that
How
theory.
can
I like
Kylo
that
be
theory from the
redeemable?
beginning.
He killed his dad, killed Han.
Yeah, but
How
how
can
can
we
Darth
forgive
Vader
him?
be redeemable?
Yeah, because we don't
Like,
care about the people he killed.
Yeah, but
Except
this is
for
Darth Vader
Obi-Wan,
was talking
but
about,
Obi-Wan gave
you know,
up.
they're supposed to be one of the darkest villains in history. I mean, he was redeemable. So
Yeah,
why
I know,
wouldn't
but
Kylo be able to?
He
And to be
killed
fair,
younglings,
Kylo
so we
does
don't
have,
care
like,
about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but exactly, he killed younglings. Like,
Yeah, I
I mean,
know,
come
but
on.
that's the
Like,
difference.
he
Kylo
can
killed
be
one of the most
redeemable.
beloved characters in
Yeah, but
Star Wars,
that's-
if not the most beloved.
Yeah, but he didn't do it like, you know, he
Whereas
was clearly
Vader-
sad when he was doing it.
Whereas when Vader did it, we didn't really care, did we? Who did Vader kill, really, that we were like... Because Obi-Wan basically let
Technically killed Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan disappeared.
You
him.
know?
He let him.
He let him kill him.
He did disappear. So...
I don't know. No, I think Kylo is redeemable. I think you're going to be surprised. I don't think Kylo's. It's not going to be a straight up piece of. I can't see it where it's just like, oh, Kylo's evil. That's it. There's nothing like that.
No, he's
can't
torn,
happen.
isn't he?
That's
He's
really
been
boring if
torn
they do
all
that.
throughout, really.
Well, that's what I mean. And usually, torn characters in films, what usually happens towards the end? They start going, oh, maybe I've made some mistakes. And
I know Vader was worse and he was redeemable. I just don't like the fact that he killed Han Solo, and then we're just gonna 2 films later gonna be like, no, actually, he's doing
We
good.
forgive you.
I'm not. Well, maybe he dies. I mean, he doesn't have to survive. But maybe he dies protecting Rey. Maybe he dies doing something good.
Mm.
Maybe he just
know?
kills Rey and stays dark. Like, surprise, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. But
That'd be a good ending.
there's also
It'd
loads
be
of theories
different.
about there's going to be a 3-way battle between the Empire, the First Order, and the Resistance. Maybe the First Order and the Resistance have to team up against the Empire because they're that strong. There's all sorts
I do
of
like
theories.
that theory. Cause
Yeah, I like that theory.
like in the trailer, you see the old Star Destroyers, don't you?
Yeah, and
there's loads of them.
literally, like, someone counted and said there was at least like 500 or something ridiculous.
Someone counted.
Someone
Yeah, someone's
counted.
actually,
Come on,
like,
man.
frozen the frames and tried to count apparently and said like, oh, there's at least 500 there.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lie.
I
That
will
guy
say
is
If you
that
watch
lying.
the break-
that moment of the trailer was
Yeah.
actually really cool.
That
Like,
that
was the
with
best
the
part of the
storm
trailer, in
around
my
it,
opinion.
and
That's
that
one of the
was
best-
like, yeah,
That's the
that
best
hit
part of the
quite
trailer.
well.
Yeah, that's
Just
one of the
that,
best
and
imageries.
that noise when the lightning comes down, like, shh, oh, it's
Yeah.
so cool. That was really
well,
cool, actually.
the rumor on that, isn't it, is that they basically been in the Outer Rim, or the Emperor had like
secret.
a backup plan. Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, they
I
were.
like that.
Did they all just disappear? Because the Outer Rim in Star Wars is basically like no man's land.
Yeah, no one really goes there. No one
It's like
knows what's going on there.
Isn't it very strong in like Sith relics apparently and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I also saw that terrible theory that Sidious, the Emperor, is his soul is in the helmet of Darth Vader, which I was like, oh, I really hope that's not true. That's not a good theory.
I don't.
That'd
like
be
that
terrible
one.
if they did that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
And
one.
that he's like secretly trying to control Kylo through the helmet, and yeah, I wouldn't like that if that was true.
Feels
Really
a bit
cringy
ridiculous.
and-
Yeah.
it just wouldn't be good. So
I'm not liking that one. I want to touch on the lightsaber.
if we have to,
Yeah, talk about that. So yeah, you just clip on another lightsaber and you've got like a nice foldy lightsaber now.
nice little
Yeah,
Nunchuck
nice.
style, I guess.
Nice
Nunchuck.
lightsaber. Look, yeah. Come on.
Looks like
man.
it's held together by a paperclip.
Yeah.
Terrible. That's the worst part of the trailer. Like, the trailer was going well in the last 3 seconds. As soon as you see it flip, you're like, what is that? That's just...
I don't even know if we're on the majority or the minority side here, by the way. I'm not
I've seen a lot
sure.
of hate for that lightsaber. I've personally seen a lot of hate for that lightsaber. I've not seen many people saying it was great. So.
See, I really like the double-bladed lightsaber, and it
Oh,
looked
the
cool.
Darth Maul one's awesome.
Yeah, so why not just have a double-bladed one? Why do we
I
need
guess
to
I guess they
modify
don't
it
want
to
to
this?
copy, do they? And go because people go, oh, it's just a copy of Darth Maul. So I imagine that's why they've tried to be clever, haven't they?
Yeah, but that
They've
would
wanted
have
to
been
bring
a
it
good
back and they've tried to be
throwback.
clever.
That would have
Yeah, I
been like
agree.
people being like, "Oh my god, look cool! They're
Yeah.
bringing that back." And why's Ray got it? And yeah, but now they gave us some flip, fold down, paperclip thing. All the things you guys have already said, and it just looks bad. It looks out of place in a trailer that
Yeah, it
generally
does.
is pretty well put together.
Yeah,
I don't
Apparently,
even know.
though, it isn't the first time this has been in the universe. Is it in the Clone Wars series? Apparently,
Yeah,
that lightsaber
I
is in
saw
it or
that.
something.
Mm.
So it's not like it's a new thing. So they can probably hide behind that fact. But
Doesn't make it a good thing.
could they take it out? I mean, I don't think they could at
Nah.
this stage.
Too
No.
late now.
No, unless it is in just the dream sequence, maybe they could like alter it. I don't know. I don't think they will.
I just don't like it. I mean, like Kylo. I mean, me and Perks talked about this the other day. Kylo Ren's lightsaber, liked it. You know, innovative.
Yeah,
cool.
I didn't mind it.
It makes sense.
I mean, some people
well.
moaned about it, but I actually didn't mind it.
Yeah, but it actually makes
Kylo's
sense. How many
lightsaber.
times do you clash with a lightsaber and you push it in on someone, and having that as an advantage?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
it's like
I was saying as well, it really
cracks.
suits him. It looks
Kinda
menacing the way the like lasers shoot out of the side like that. It fits his character.
Yeah, it does.
Good luck finding a character outside of Jar Jar Binks that would look good holding the paperclip lightsabers.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
There's a question. Do you want Jar Jar Binks to return for the Rise of Skywalker?
No.
Might save the trilogy.
What if Palpatine killed him?
Darth Jar Jar, or whatever he'd be called. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Apparently, he's just a bum now on Tatooine.
Is that don't tell me that's actually canon? They
Yeah,
made
it's in the
he's a
comics.
bum on Tatooine.
Well, I use the term bum. I think he's just like some trader on
I
Tatooine.
tell you what would be nice. You know, if they went back to like Tatooine or something. I don't think they are going to Tatooine in this film. I don't think. But
No, they've got
if they
the
did,
Jakku sand
like, wouldn't it
place
be
now.
great just as a little nod, like to see him like as a hobo or something? Just
As a bum.
just like begging for money, like, oh please, sir,
Intergalactical bum.
You know what I mean?
That's-
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
How does he
So-
sound?
How does he sound? Well, I don't know. My impression
yeah.
is pretty terrible. I don't know. Please, sir, money for Jar Jar. Not a great impression, to be
He's not
honest.
Eastern European.
Yeah, no, I just sound like someone out of GTA 4. So,
You want to go bowling?
Jar Jar, you want to go bowling? Yeah, not a good impression. But
No, but who knows? Bring
I
him
don't
back
know what's-
and bring back Darth Jar
yeah,
Jar.
I mean, do you think we're going to see any new lightsabers?
well, we
I
have.
think we might. No, but I think we might see another new lightsaber.
I don't
Something
know
new
why.
From someone. Maybe Rey. Maybe Rey's got a new lightsaber. Kylo's obviously going to have the same one. The Emperor. I mean, I wouldn't imagine the
He had
Emperor's going to be
The
anything
Emperor
in
had
this
that
in
nice
terms of-
gold hilted one, didn't he?
I just don't think we're going to see him with a lightsaber in this. I think it's going to be more about his force powers, isn't it?
I mean, do you really
would
actually?
imagine.
Is he even going to be a being, or is he just going to be like a
Oh,
force ghost?
Well, you'd imagine you'd see him, wouldn't you? Even as a force ghost at some point. It'd
Yeah,
be a bit
no,
weird
but
if
I
it was just a
mean-
voice. Like,
He's not going to have a lightsaber if he's
no,
a
I don't
ghost,
think
is
so.
he?
I think he'll just be. The Emperor, anyway, isn't really a. He's more of a force user, isn't he, than a lightsaber user?
Mm.
You only
You're
use the
going to see
lightsaber
him
in
spinning
Revenge of
around
the
planets with his stormcaller fingers and
Well,
stuff.
Well, I mean, just going back to the way he
Unlimited
fights.
power.
Ray fights like he does, doesn't he? That's still a thing that we haven't that people ignore. The fact
Yeah,
that in
that's why
Force
she's a
Awakens,
clone.
She
She's
literally
got
does
his DNA.
that same thing. That when the Emperor's got that weird
the
face
thrust.
when he pulls in,
Yeah.
and he goes
And
that
he
like thrust with his
Thrust
face.
the-
Ray does the
lightsaber.
same thing, but without the ridiculous noise.
Mate, I'm telling you, clone.
Yes,
She's got a bit of everyone in her. She's
Yeah.
the most powerful
Yeah.
being ever created.
Well, I suppose we've not got too long to wait and find out. When's the film? 21st of December, I think, isn't it?
Oh my god, is it actually that close to Christmas?
Yeah, it's really close. So it's a nice little early Christmas present.
Present.
Well, it might not be a
Well,
present.
it might not be.
You might,
present,
yeah,
yeah.
you might. You might not be saying that after you see it.
I know.
Might
yeah, that's
might
true.
ruin your Christmas.
Well, let's be honest. Last Jedi ruined my the Christmas before. So,
Oh god, that's so. Let's not go down that dark hole again.
hey, the Last Jedi will be brought up again on this podcast. There's no doubt about that.
It's inevitable.
It's like Thanos.
It deserves to be brought up at every moment.
It is like
to be
Thanos.
panned forever.
It is. Well, anyway, that's our thoughts on the topics that we've covered today. But before we go, remember if you're listening on YouTube to subscribe for more gaming content each week and give our video a like and a comment below, as that will help the channel to grow. You can also follow the Checkpoint Reach podcast on social media on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at CheckReachPod. And you can also follow us guys on social media if you like. Where can people find you, Stud?
You can find me on Twitter at David10Spud.
Lovely stuff. How about you, Perks?
Likewise at JG Perks.
Lovely stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Leld, LEL3Ds. Add a 9 on the end for Instagram. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, as ever. Have a good
It's
week.
been good. Good return.
Yeah, it's been nice. Yeah, there you go.
Return of the Jedi.
Look forward to more
Return of the
exciting
champs.
stuff next week.
Yes, we'll cover some more gaming news next week.
Hopefully we'll have played Gears by then as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Able to
Looking
cover that.
forward to talking about that, actually.
So
I can't wait.
it'll be interesting.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, have a good week, guys, and we'll chat again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.